Well, welcome back to Wake Up America. So if you happened to be on social media yesterday afternoon like I was, it probably came up on your feed and it probably frightened you a little bit. A new report from NASA nearly doubling the chances of an asteroid colliding with Earth in 2032. It stands right now at about a chance of 1 in 32. Now, back in December, astronomers discovered the asteroid, but then they thought it only had a barely 1% chance of hitting Earth. Joining us now for more is a former astronaut, former commander of the International Space Station, Leroy Chiao. So, Commander, 3%, that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you consider how big space really is, it's probably higher than you might expect or want.
Well, you have to keep in mind that we're talking about 7 years in the future. This is not an exact science. Things can influence the orbits of everything out there. And so as we get closer, I would expect astronomers to refine that estimate. And even so, just consider that every day, both man-made and, meteors impact the Earth or come through the atmosphere. The bulk of that is small enough that it burns up in the atmosphere, but every now and then a big chunk makes it to the surface. Now, keep in mind also that most of the Earth is covered by ocean. There are vast areas of undeveloped areas. Think about Greenland, Siberia, places like that, big parts of Canada and the Midwest. But you think about these things that come down, and a few years ago in Chelyabinsk, I believe, in Russia, you had a big meteor that came down and blew up near the city and shattered windows and things like that. So it can happen. And of course, 66 million years ago, the big meteor that came down and hit the Yucatan Peninsula or near there in the Gulf of America now, basically took out the dinosaurs. So it can happen. I guess the question is, 66 million years, does that mean we're due for one? Or, is it just so rare that we really shouldn't think too much about it?
One of the things that really struck me was the fact of how quickly this forecast has changed. Back in December, they discovered this. It was about a 1%, less than 1%. Now, in just a couple of months, it's over 3%. So clearly, they're learning more information about this, about its orbit, which apparently is a little unusual. Do these changes actually shock you at all?
Not really, because the estimates are based on observations, right? And so as you do better observations, it also depends how far away it is, and you've had some chance to spend some time looking at the track. These observations, these estimates are going to change. So I would fully expect the estimation, the numbers to change as this goes on, as we get closer to the hopefully near miss. And in the cosmic scale, remember the near misses can be millions or more miles, right? So we'll just kind of have to keep an eye on it. But as I said, every day objects come down and hit the Earth. So this one in particular is getting a lot of headlines. But right now, I wouldn't worry about it too much. There are a lot more pressing things that we need to worry about here on the Earth.
One of the things that also struck me was that this asteroid is actually going to, quote, disappear from our line of sight starting in April of about 2028 because of the way it orbits. I mean, A, does that concern you because we're going to lose track of it? Or B, do we need to actually start getting more, I would say, platforms out there so we have more angles of attack to view what may be coming our way?
Well, yeah, of course, orbits of all the celestial bodies are going to be, it's very dynamic, of course. And so, yeah, it's not a surprise we're going to lose sight of it for a while. But no, I think, we'll be able to track it once, reappears, the orbits can, coincide and things reappear. But no, I wouldn't see us needing to spend a lot of money to develop spacecraft to go out and specifically track this or any other particular asteroid.
Of course, now in my social media, it came up much like a Hollywood movie. Some people said we should hire Elon to build a giant space laser to go out and destroy this thing. I mean, we're not anywhere close to having anything like that, are we?
No, we've done some experiments with NASA spacecraft. I believe the European Space Agency also had a spacecraft that went and visited an asteroid and actually impacted it, shot an impactor at it to see what would happen, how much they could alter the trajectory of the asteroid. And it's for, a little bit of experimentation to see whether it would be plausible to deflect something that we knew was going to come in and hit us one day. And, of course, there's the old adage, adage, you can always make it worse, right? If we blew up a big asteroid, well, now you've got these other pieces, and maybe the whole thing would have missed you, but one of these big chunks is now going to hit you, you know? So it's something that's been debated for many decades now. We've been talking about this idea for decades, and we've done some experiments, but I wouldn't expect to see anything, any big push to fund these kinds of efforts anytime in the near future.
Commander, thanks for joining us. I hope to have you back, especially as we send Elon up to go get the astronauts currently at the International Space Station. I think that's supposed to be in the next month or so, so we'll have you back soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.